All agents are currently assisting other suspects. Please stay on the line and your call will be answered in order.
You have no power.
It didn't need to come to this. But you know no other way.
Today's Nerd Fights was brought to you by Carolyn Pharmaceuticals, guaranteed to be the last pharmacy you'll ever use, if you know what I mean. And also by these guys, because I guess for some reason they want to support Salty, those sons of bitch.
Computer and program?
And
Speaking of Support Salty, be sure to visit supportsalty.com. This past weekend, we did our Star Wars Day episode where we reviewed
Star Trek Day.
Star Trek Day. Thank you. Episode. I got confused because of the Star Wars video.
Yes, which I'm going to post tomorrow.
The first episode.
I'm going to post it tomorrow since tomorrow's the day we're going to watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Don't be late.
I won't. No, I'm going to actually
make sure you get that out. because all
No, I haven't
three of
rendered. I haven't
your
rendered and ready,
Patreons,
so I'm going
you
to
know,
post it tomorrow.
they want to see it.
Yes. Where
So,
we what did we watch?
the first episode of the animated Star Trek, the animated series, season
Yes.
1, episode 1, which was trippy, to say the least.
Yes.
Oh yes.
It was an acid.
And by trippy,
trip
yeah,
experience.
I mean the guys who wrote it and made it were on something, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
Beyond the Furthest Star.
I wish we'd have done 2 episodes. It's probably my fault though, because Yesteryear is probably my favorite episode of the animated series. So,
Well, we'll watch that one.
we'll do that again, right? We're gonna do that again.
Yeah, we're gonna watch Yesteryear next week because we're gonna. I thought we were gonna watch.
Yeah, we're gonna do a pairing because we're getting such
Okay.
short little episodes.
While we're watching the whatchamacallit,
Lower Decks.
Lower Deck. Yeah, I'm losing my mind.
I don't have any words.
Yes, words not working, brain. Yeah, but the so yeah, we'll watch Yesteryear this Saturday.
Right on.
And yeah, looking forward to it because that is a great episode. Which you've never seen Yesteryear?
Nope.
Yeah, Yesteryear is the one episode of the animated series which is universally considered canon.
Yeah, I mean they even in Star Trek, the 2009 one, in fact, they lift a scene right out of the cartoon for that movie.
Yeah,
that'll be cool. I'll be interesting to see if I pick up on it when we watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to show you guys something that I have.
Yes, I have that book as well.
Oh, that is cool.
The official guide to the animated series. Yes.
That's cool. Hardcover and all. Nice.
Yes. It's funny because it has little things in here called canon alerts where they do like little blurbs.
Two
Yeah,
Lower
here we
Decks
go.
tomorrow?
Here's one. Yeah, Lower Decks is tomorrow. Ah, damn it. I got to turn my blur off. Can you see that? It says canon alert. Where like so it has little like when it goes through the thing like stuff that is inarguably canon, whether the actual
nice.
series is or not. So yeah.
When was the book published?
That's a good question. Let's see. I bought it right when it came out, so it's been a few years.
Should be on like the first or second page.
Yeah.
Like right on the inside jacket
Yeah,
with
the
the publishing.
inside cover it should say.
Yeah, with the publishing info that's on the very first page, Danny.
Yeah, I'm looking. There's no let's see. It says
There's no
Star
publisher
Trek the
page.
official guide.
Weird.
Weldon Owen.
That's very strange for a book to.
That
not
is
have it right
weird.
on-
Usually it's right on the like I
Like-
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like right there. Whacked.
It
But
is
yeah,
whacked.
so apparently there's going to be 2 episodes of Lower Decks tomorrow.
Oh.
Oh, there's gonna be 2 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So tomorrow will be a busy night. We'll have 2 episodes
Busier
of
than we
Lower
thought,
Decks
but-
and Beyond the Furthest Star.
Wow. It does not have maybe it's in the back. That's crazy. Here we go. Hold up. 2019. It was in the back of the book for some reason.
Oh, okay.
However, you know, if
Cool.
if you look at
So it'd be fairly up to date then, yeah.
Yeah.
right, but if you look at, you know, the one thing that I mean, if you look at the official timeline that's on the Star Trek website, the StarTrek.com website, they do include the animated series, and so based on that, you would have to say that it is canon at this point.
Oh, totally. Before we get any further, though, on Salty's channel, first of all, thank you everybody who's here tuning in live. We've got 5 people on my channel, 8 people on Salty's channel. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up for us if you haven't. All. But Stanley had a question. I don't know the answer to because I didn't watch the cartoons.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see his question? It was
No,
did Anakin. If you guys would give me the freaking ability to highlight comments like you used to, I think I've earned it. I've been on good behavior for a while. That's it. Yeah. Did Anakin train her between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith? I would say
no, but
no.
he
Oh, well,
ran.
I was
But
about to say he had to. So okay.
Anakin as Darth Vader ran into Ahsoka, and they fought to a draw.
No, but when did he train her?
He trained her.
He trained her the whole time.
Sorry. Between Attack of the Clones, sorry. Every time I see Attack of the Clones, I get screwed up for Clone Wars. So it was very shortly after Attack of the Clones, once he healed from getting his arm replaced.
Do they explain why she's not in that movie? Because if it took place in between there,
Yeah, she becomes his Padawan immediately after Attack of the Clones, basically.
Yeah,
okay.
he gets fixed up from losing his arm to Count Dooku, and Yoda decides that as a lesson for Anakin to learn to focus himself better, that he has to become a teacher. So Ahsoka gets assigned to Anakin, and then they spend 5-ish years together, and then someone sets her up, and then even after she's exonerated, that's when she quits.
Because so she quits before he kills Count Dooku. Then, like,
correct.
So,
Yeah.
Well, how convenient is that? So I guess they there you go, Stanley. Yeah, they plopped her in between those two movies. So.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is in season 7 of Clone Wars, they draw the timeline right to Order 66. And the way they separated it was they did the whole Anakin was on Coruscant.
Ooh, that's another good question. Or go ahead, sorry. Stan just
Anakin was on Coruscant, and Obi-Wan was on Utapau, and of course killed Grievous at that point. But then as soon as Order 66 gets keyed off, Obi-Wan killed...
Obi-Wan was on Utapau.
Yeah,
killed this
Obi-Wan,
guy?
Yeah, he killed that guy.
Bummer.
Yeah, well, you remember that in
No, I know.
Revenge of the Sith. But then Order 66 gets keyed off. Obi-Wan gets shot off the side.
Lozenger, by the way.
What's that?
Do what? Oh,
Grievous.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
really needed
yeah.
a Lozenger.
Yeah, he really did.
Yeah. And that, of course, allowed the setup so that they could do more locations. And then, of course, they did it on Mandalore Prime in the capital city. And that's the end of season 7 of Clone Wars.
Okay. Like mini side production meeting note. I mean it. If I don't have the ability to highlight comments tomorrow, I quit. I'm done. I've been on good behavior for months.
You
now.
want to pay for the upgrade to stream?
No, bro, you don't. There's no upgrade. You let me do it before. There was no upgrade. You just
there was an upgrade, and I downgraded because I couldn't afford it anymore.
Oh, you did. Oh, you hear that, people?
Oh,
now more than ever, we need support.com.
Oh, is that you can only have one dude being like a secondary?
Okay.
Or
No, that's fine. That's fine then. Okay, I'll forgive you then. All right.
Because I don't think you can have anybody as a secondary on the free account, can you?
No, I don't have the free. I don't have the
no. But
I have the free account, and you can't do anything.
On the free account, you can't have anybody. On the $20 account, you can have one person.
Okay. So Stanley, that's right. 20 a month.
Yeah, 20 a month.
Yeah.
Holy Christ! Okay,
$20 a month for what I have right now. And
so Stanley's last question.
It's $50 a month.
50 a month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
why there's that.
We got to become a nonprofit.
Yeah, that's why there's a big competitor out there called EV Mux, which Mike and I have messed with, and it's less expensive, but the interface doesn't work as nice as this does for what we do.
So,
yeah, we experimented, but it just doesn't work.
Okay, so Stan wanted to know if does that happen?
Ahsoka does fight Vader. And it's
that had to be heartbreaking.
I just watched it after rewatching today's episode of Ahsoka, and I was just there was man tears. That's just
powerful. I need the link to that.
That's just a powerful episode, man. That's just a
see. And I just want to watch that fight scene.
That fight actually involves Ezra directly as well, because Ahsoka probably would have died if not for Ezra in that fight.
Yeah.
How unfortunate his name is Ezra because of that crazy Ezra Miller guy. That's just a shame.
Yeah. Well, that's just like
Durstus says it was a really good fight. So, all right.
it was, yeah. So first I'll say this, and I'll make the funny joke. Stanley, OBS is desktop software, which is great for a single point person streaming out, but is not good for.
Yeah, you can't do it like StreamYard is something. The cool thing about StreamYard is that it's great for what multi-headed
stuff. Yeah.
Would you highlight Stanley's comment about the bad de-aging? No, because this is Ghost Anakin. This would be after he died. So this is the Anakin we saw as a ghost.
Well, that's actually an interesting question about when. Okay.
No, because he literally says, "I didn't expect to see you so soon." This is the dead Ghost Anakin. She's in the living force. You don't think so?
Well, yeah. We'll get to that in a second. But the funny joke, talking about bad naming time, we've all seen The Expanse or most of The Expanse. Mm-hmm. How sucky is it that the writers decided to call that amazing engine drive system the Epstein drive?
Yeah. Yeah, we have Ezra and the Epstein drive.
Yeah, a little unfortunate. Yes. Hey, on my channel, I pin how people can support me, but more importantly, I need him to get the upgrade. You need to put in the chat and pin how people can support you directly with the least amount of fees, so he can afford to give me the ability to highlight comments. Folks, we need your help. We need your help.
The more you help.
Well, let's see.
Yeah, pin your robot there.
Now you're making me do work.
Well, hey, while he's doing that, Jason Stan, who's just firing off
full
a lot
of
of great questions.
Yeah. So,
what's the Force Ghost supposed to look like? That's a good question because I thought it was what they look like when they died, like everybody else. But Anakin seemed to got to pick.
That is not a Force Ghost.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll.
Well, no, he was a Force Ghost in the when they redid.
Yeah, they redid. Yeah. Well, of course, it was the original actor, David Prowse.
No, it wasn't David Prowse.
Or no, it wasn't David. It was somebody else.
No,
it was the guy that was there when they had the mask off. Yeah,
when they took the mask off, it was that guy. Yeah. But he's since been replaced by Anakin that looks kind of like he did at the end of this episode.
Yeah. So there's my hot take will be a very happy hot take, but I will have a continuing theme throughout, regardless of the hot take. This show is one of these you got to be into comic books level homework type things, and it's not bad because for people like me that are over the moon for this episode, spoiler warning, Rebels is awesome, and getting over the cartoon part and then letting yourself get into the lore of everything it's just wild. And then of course what you saw them in at the end, that's the world between or beyond worlds.
Now pin it, but that's not the link I wanted you to pin. I wanted you to pin the one where they give you the money with no fees.
The biggest bang.
Yeah.
Well, if they support me there, that's a monthly support. That's where I'd be able to
but we might get one of these fools that come in here, likes our take, and drops $50 for you, like right off the bat, and then boom, there you go.
I see what you're saying. All right,
you're picking up.
And I didn't mean fools. He calls a man a fool. Is a fool. My bad.
Yeah. You calling my supporters fools?
Not at all. Not at all.
I pity the fool.
That's not a good thing. All right. So now you can. All right.
So what happens in season 4 of
Ariel's
Rebels?
in the house.
Hey!
Now I just need Twinkle to show up and I'll have my fan club here.
All the hateful and denouncing comments. Why don't you just stick a pitchfork in? Man, I got to turn her world upside down today. So in season 4, we get to see the world beyond worlds, which is basically time travel, and it's multiverse without it feeling as magooey as multiverse. Okay. And Ezra actually helps. It was all written way in advance too. Like this was all plotted out And it becomes obvious if you start rewatching the Rebels series that Filoni had this figured out. So Ezra actually saves Ahsoka's life. And then she says, no, later on in that same episode, she said she has to go back to her time, and she knows that she has to. And then she does. And there's a cut that shows a callback to the episode from the end of season 2. So what it is basically anybody that can gain access to the world between or beyond worlds or between worlds.
I see Ariel's comment. That's funny.
If they aren't warping around a sun or going 80, then it isn't time travel. It's magic. The reality is that you could mess around with practically whatever you wanted to, it seems. And from the Clone Wars series, there was an encounter that Anakin and Obi-Wan was with them, right? When they met the father and the son and the daughter. You know which episode I'm talking about, right, Mike?
Yeah. They were like the living embodiment of the Force.
Yeah, it's like this ultimate embodiment of the Force, and they learned all kinds of crazy things in that as well. And who knows? Like there could be some weird instance where he actually encountered this realm that we're unaware of, which is easy in the sense that it's a retcon without having to break your back over it. But it's going to be interesting because to totally go right to the very end of the episode before we even get into anything, did anybody notice that when they did the fade to black, it didn't play happy music?
It played Vader's music.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you see that, and so at the end of the day, I don't. What the point of it is that she's not necessarily talking to Anakin Skywalker. She's probably talking to Darth Vader.
Yeah, because that was also an established trick in the last episode of Rebels, because the Emperor faked the way he looked to Ezra.
Man, what the.
And
I'm not.
No. I totally get it. And hey, we're here to be your homework for you.
Yeah.
But it's frustrating, and this is why, as much as I'm ecstatic about this episode, I still stand by what I said 2 weeks ago, which is that unfortunately this show is.
Now they're going to have to. That's why they're going to have to, within the framework of this show, re-explain the world beyond worlds.
They better pull some absolutely amazing Basil exposition in the next 2 episodes, because it's going to leave people in the dust, and it sucks because at this point the story is absolutely kicking into high gear.
I will say, and I hope like the Bear guy and a couple of the other guys who've participated in previous weeks who are like me haven't seen the cartoons, but they were loving it. I will say this was easily my favorite episode so far as somebody who's clueless to this stuff.
Right.
Probably because I'm a sucker for lightsaber duels, and we had 4 of them? 3 or 4 of them?
Yeah. The whole when I rewatched it before the show started, I just this episode just flew by. Like the pacing on this was just hot.
And I don't know who the Umbrella Bro or whatever his name is, the very first comment. I've never seen him. Umbre Malitos.
Oh yeah, does this show?
Yeah, that
this
guy,
show doesn't need saving. Star Wars can be argued as needing a lot of help, but this show just stepped it in. This show is I just turned on the nitro at this point. So if they keep the pace up for the rest of these episodes, it's gonna all kind of probably start to make a whole lot more sense.
Wow! And after I say that, John Gill comes in with his hot take. He says this episode was god awful. Well, okay, wow.
Okay,
it's easily the best. It's easily the best one we've seen so far. Which, again, the bar is really low. So,
were you in the world beyond worlds, and you came through the wrong portal?
Yeah, I'd have to look, John. I am I gotta disagree with you. I don't think that like granted, I know that I've been enjoying the show more than you overall anyway, but I even for someone that I can't see how you could say this was a bad episode, no matter how much you dislike the show.
We barely got any of the green chick. You know, we had just enough, and she was flying the ghost, so that made it more bearable. Dude, we got some like I hate that Ray Stevenson.
Oh yeah, that
dead.
Ray.
He's God, I love him so much. He's so good. Like when we get to the scene, I'll talk about it. But did you notice how like Ahsoka was the aggressor? She was almost like the bad guy. She starts it up first, and he's just like, and he's even like,
well,
I didn't have to come to this.
About that. They follow the rule of, and this is something that I do like. Whoever ignites their saber first is wrong.
Well, and she lost.
And
she lost.
Anytime a Jedi lights their saber first, they're in the wrong. And in that last fight, Ahsoka ignited her saber first.
Yeah.
But in the other fights, she didn't.
And you notice she also lost control and threw the Chihuahua across the
Well, that's
the
because
monolith.
See, normally we're like,
okay, I know, but we're just all over.
How you doing last week and blah blah blah. We don't even get to the episode.
This is a good episode.
That's how I know this is a good episode, because we're just like talking about it as soon as we get in here.
So, all right, okay, hot takes.
All right, yeah. Let's get into the hot.
And if you can't tell, I want to go first.
Go, let him go.
All right. Okay, so there's this really funny thing in the software development world, and I don't know if anyone's ever seen it. It's a meme. Steve Ballmer from Microsoft one time at a conference ran around on the stage sweating it up like a big old pig, and he was going, developers.
Hey, fun fact for those who don't know, pigs don't sweat. That's why they roll.
Yeah, I know. It's always so hilarious. Well, to this I say directors, because I had no choice but to look up who the director was after I rewatched it. And oh yeah, guess what? Director of Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. Yeah.
Okay.
And you think about the last 2 episodes we watched, and you compare it to this episode.
Oh, this one, like the pacing was way better.
Pacing was better. The acting was better. The emotiveness was better. It did, even if something felt slightly clunky, because I mean, what's her face that plays Ahsoka? That's terrible. Brain tripping out here.
Rosario Dawson.
Rosario. She's got to fight a natural, like New Yorkish kind of accent that she's got. She's got a bit of a twang, so she can't let herself get too worked up when she's doing the part, because otherwise that'll just escape. It's just what happens to anybody. Right.
No, Hera was in this. She was flying the ghost.
Yeah, and frankly, other than the fact that she still came across slightly flat, which is why I still am not 100%.
The president of the Dork Knight fan club just got here. Twinkle Cheech is in the house, so we got Twinkle and Ariel. What's up, girls?
But yeah, I mean this. Yeah, my son was laughing at me last night. I was just like, this is the one I was waiting for. It's all I said.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, it sucks that there's a bunch of stuff that's like homework things, because the whole time I kept asking questions. Like, usually I'm pretty quiet when I watch a show for the first time, but I start batting around questions, and Matthew's kind of like, shut up. Just watch the show. We'll talk about it after.
At least your kid will watch stuff with you. I can't. Anyway, sorry. So Ariel knows she did speak. You know, she spoke to the guy, like he was like, "Hey, where are you going, General?" She's like, "I'm doing my thing." And then her kid was like, "Why don't I get to break the rules?" And then she was like, "When you become a general, you can start breaking rules." You know, so she definitely had speaking lines. She just wasn't as terrible in this episode.
Well, whatever. No.
What?
I must protest this claim.
My claim or John's?
No, this John claim.
Oh, okay.
What is even going? No.
I think, John,
I would have agreed with you on the first 2 episodes, bro.
John, I think that you must have smoked a whole bag of weed before you watched this episode. That's the only way that this felt this way to you.
No, he
Or
went and
or
watched. He went
catnip
and
in
watched
his case.
Disparu because Disparu's got the biggest hate on for this show I've ever seen.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me.
Yeah,
All right, well, finish your hot take, sir. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
yeah. I'm. Yeah. My hot take is I just want to say all the happy things.
All right. There you go. All right, go ahead.
All right. Hot take number 1.
Number 1.
This episode was too damn dark. So I watched it on my television and I was getting frustrated and I had to swap it to my computer, which I have a little bit more control over the brightness and stuff like that on.
Yeah.
And it was too dark. So people who want to complain about Picard being too dark, no, this episode was really, really dark.
I actually
the
agree.
lighting,
I think the color grading was too dark.
Yeah, it was
I-
way too dark.
That or there was some crush in the release on the streaming service. I don't know, but I know the forest fights were difficult.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. And 2, all you idiots out there that was trying to say that Inquisitor was Star Killer, man, weren't you made to look
Oh,
stupid?
man. Everybody
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
dumb now. Ezra, Star
Yeah,
Killer.
right. Yeah, no. He
like,
was a nobody. Actually, when we get to it, it's interesting because she like cuts him in half, but then he just like mist comes out of his
there's
suit.
an explanation for that.
Of course there is. It's got to
Yeah.
do with the cartoons, right?
Yes.
Oh my god.
This is
Anyway.
the thing. That's why I say there's a theme. This whole series is going to be too much damn homework. It's the
Yeah.
MCU problem. Too much content.
Yeah,
But this is excellent story right at this point. Like they're tossing up stuff that's just
So I want to get the negative stuff out of the way. Too dark, misty dude, Ahsoka being the aggressor in that last fight, but everything else, holy cow! Like this was easily the best episode. I mean, I'm a sucker for lightsaber duels. That's why I like Revenge of the Sith so much. And the only thing is, when Ahsoka thought Sabine was dead, it didn't really carry any weight for me like it probably did for you guys seeing the show. Because like even if she had died, which spoiler alert, she didn't, you know, I wouldn't have cared. But then like what intrigued me, and I do have to ask you about this, guys, what intrigued me was, is she supposed to be the fallen Jedi because she betrays everybody and makes that deal with Balin? Or
I think this was like a stunt like what they were doing with Mando, where the title had multiple meanings. Because if you count it, you had Ahsoka, she falls literally and seems to be killed. Balin fell from the Order. Anakin turned completely to the dark side. And we see all 3 of them in this one episode.
And we get a really good line from Balin where the creepy chick that looks like my ex-girlfriend, the witch.
Yeah,
What's her name? Morgan, I think. Right, Morgan's her name.
What do they call those? They're the sisters, the sisters of Dathomir, but there's another part to the name of that.
I'll just call her creepy bitch. Anyway,
But yeah.
she tells Balin to have faith, and I love his response. I lost that a long time ago. I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
The Night Witches.
I hate that dude died in real life because I love his character so much. Like he's got way more, like for a bad guy, he's got honor. Not just that, but like he's got, like he gives his word. Like, so if that was a Sith, he gives Sabine his word. After he gets the ball, she's dead. And not only that, he tells Chihuahua lady, "Whoa, I gave her my word. Don't you hurt her. Let her go."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And for the record, I gotta slip this in, because for the record, Filoni's very consistent on what you just brought up about the way Sith behave. Because in the season 2 finale of Rebels, Maul, who's no longer Darth at the time, but still is absolutely Sith in all of his actions, Maul lies, tries to steal Ezra, and then blinds Kanan right in the face with his lightsaber.
See, that's Sith. This guy, he's easily my favorite character of the show.
Yeah. He's a Jedi through and through. He's just not a
just
good one.
disenfranchised or whatever. He's just like,
Yeah.
and I like how he
Yeah.
took every opportunity to burn, like throw shade at Ahsoka. He's like, I'm going to keep my word, unlike her former master. You know, there were like,
Oh
3 or
yeah, well
4
he
little
called her
barbs he was
out over
throwing,
the
yeah.
fact that she abandoned him.
And she's like, I don't want to talk about my past. Okay,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's overall, if you can tell with my level of excitement, really enjoyed this episode. I got a couple little nitpicks, but man, these shows got to really do something about the darkness of certain scenes, man.
Yeah, they got to watch that. I mean, it's. I understand what they're trying to do to a certain extent sometimes, but they got to be very careful because just like I went on and on in season 3 of Picard, the problem is they're making this stuff for their magic fancy room with their $10,000 OLED editing studio. They're not making it properly for average person in average lit room with average television.
Right.
That never changes the settings on the TV off of standard, or worse, never changes the settings off of like display mode or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
tried
they gotta
every
be careful
setting on
with
my
that.
TV to brighten
Yeah.
that up, and I just said screw it, and I just threw it on my computer where I have all kinds of control over.
Yeah, when we watched it last night, we watched it downstairs on the big screen projector, and it worked pretty decent there because the lights are completely off. So you're actually is close to that kind of a scenario that they wanted you in anyway. But when I watched it again today, I watched it upstairs in the living room just on a regular LCD TV, no light control, and yeah, I could absolutely see what you were talking about as far as the darkness becoming a problem.
So, yes, I actually do have. I have got a TCL 65-inch Roku TV that is a 4K HDR, but I couldn't get it was just still dark, and I got called out by Ariel. You're right. I guess my mom is technically the president of the Dork Knight fan club. So I'll let you two chicks figure out what your role is going to be. But
well, there's the founder, and there's also a president, perhaps.
no, there you go.
She's literally the founder.
The founder, yeah. Right.
You done?
Yeah, Mike, what's your hot take, buddy?
Well, first, I will agree with you. It is too dark. I think that is a problem. I also think it is a problem that there is homework required. Because I think that they're going for the world between worlds. I wasn't expecting to see the world between worlds.
What's world between? Like, what do you mean? Like
that's the weird.
That's
not
where we
water
end
place.
up in the end.
So that hyper jump that they do. That's
no. Where she sees Anakin again.
When Ahsoka stands up at the end, and everything looks all.
Oh, I just thought that was like the living.
No,
because, again,
that is
I haven't seen the cartoons.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
it
the
is.
world between worlds.
All
yeah,
right. See, I
beyond
didn't
worlds.
think the episode required homework.
That
so
is
I'm
an
gonna need you
actual
guys
place.
to point out all these
And
kind of
so,
things.
which I was both ecstatic and disappointed to see. Ecstatic because it was really cool, the concept when they brought it in Rebels, but it's also like, wow, are they going to actually explain it? And the fact that that's where we see Anakin brings up some interesting questions.
Okay, so I wonder if this is a problem, because from my point of view, someone who doesn't know any of this stuff, I literally thought that
it
was
all
like
depends on your point of view.
I literally thought that was like the living force, like
Exactly.
you know, what they talk about.
That makes sense.
You
You
know,
would think that.
But
it's not, is what you're saying.
Part of how the Force works, but it's not like the afterlife-y type part of the Force or something.
See, Stanley, that's a good question, because if it was the living force, I think she'd be dead. But you're saying it's a world between worlds, so she's probably not dead then.
Yeah,
and I don't mean dead like all dead, like mostly dead.
No, she could have got pulled in. So there's this scene. The best way to describe it is during the fight with Vader that she has in the cartoons. Everything's falling apart, and and Ezra's walking around in the world beyond worlds, and sees a portal light up with the owl type thing that always shows up around Ahsoka all the time.
Is that why you made a comment about the owl shirt I was wearing the other day?
Might have been, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It
Remember,
might have
because I was
tied.
wearing a
Yeah,
Deftones
yeah.
shirt with an owl on it. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, look at no. I was like,
Yeah, because there's this owl that shows up all over the place in the iconography of Star Wars, in the Clone Wars and in Rebels. And anyway, Ezra sees her through the portal, reaches through, and actually pulls her out of time and space and into this realm. So something, because we really don't know, is this Anakin or is this Darth Vader Anakin? Pull.
well, and then they play the Vader music, so that's
so. So anyway, so that's the whole deal with that. Like, something pulled her through. She didn't will herself into that realm. Something would have pulled her through, would have seen her falling to her doom, and yoink. But
So
who that
Gorilla's
was?
not Gorilla's not here, right? Because I don't want him getting mad at me again. Because we have somebody in the chat named Bondage Brittany, who says that Filoni described the world between worlds as a nexus between the cosmic and living force. Is that correct?
That probably is a reasonable description.
Okay.
And the thing is
Hey,
that
Daddy, what's bondage? Get mad at her, not me, Gorilla. If you're here.
but the and the thing is, if that's Vader and they did de-age him, notice, and that would be
Really,
Vader.
he didn't look de-aged to me, so they did a bad job.
No, they definitely de-aged him.
Yeah.
If you look at his face, that is.
He looked like he did from the Star Wars Celebration clips I saw, where he was doing the interview with.
Well, Hayden's aged pretty good anyway, so.
Yeah. But
Gorilla is here, and I'm free to say anything. Apparently, no
but
kid.
that would be Vader before the accident, so to speak, before he fought Obi-Wan.
Okay.
And so, because obviously he's not.
So was that supposed to be him, like as she would remember him last before Vader?
No, it's not how she remembered him. It is literally Vader before that happened.
Yeah, so it could actually be Vader, as in arise, Lord Vader.
Like Vader after he turned to the dark side, but before he fought. Before he fought Obi-Wan.
Yeah, so remember when they were in the Chancellor's chamber and Palpatine actually anointed him as Darth Vader? It could be that Anakin, possibly.
Okay. Like when he's like, rise, Lord Vader. When he's basically
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. It could be him, which is why there's that dum da dum 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 da dum right at the end, and you're kind of going, huh?
Which would make sense because he looks like Anakin as opposed to looking like Darth Vader, from the classic movies.
I'll have to go back and look. I just assumed, because again, I haven't seen the cartoons. I thought they were in the living force. I thought it was basically Force Ghost Anakin from Return of the Jedi, is what I thought.
Right. And that's the thing. Like, the other possibility is and this is what's happened before, is that Palpatine did use the Force to make himself look like classic nice Palpatine instead of looking like the Emperor when he was in the world between worlds. And so it's possible that he actually is Vader in the suit, but he's using the Force to disguise himself and make himself look like good old Anakin.
I keep hearing, are you getting tips or chats?
That's me. No, that's me.
Sorry. Okay.
Oh,
Me
man,
mute my phone. It was rolling in like that. He'd be like, I'm in the money.
No, I haven't gotten any tips today. But yeah, if it was Vader, could be disguising his appearance. But in either case, because they're in the world between worlds, it's safe to say at this point she is not dead.
So
even though if you were not educated, you would assume that she's in some kind of afterlife
or purgatory, but
Yeah.
in between. So let me ask you this, and I know I'm sorry, well, it's your hot take, but can you? I don't understand fully this world between worlds thing. Can you kind of give us a little crash course?
It is
on that?
a timeless place. It is a place where you can travel to any time within the Star Wars universe. And so imagine a place where time doesn't exist and you can literally walk around on these you notice how she was walking on that weird looking strip.
Yeah.
Like
at first I thought she was maybe laying on the water because they cut
right.
for
And so these like little bridges there can go to any time and any place in the Star Wars universe. So you can walk on these things to any time and place, anywhere, any when in Star Wars. And so she could go to 1,000 years ago on Tatooine, or she could go to 1,000 years in the future on Coruscant. And so that's and just walking on these planks.
Yeah, it's like the Guardian of Forever, but it is seemingly able to read your emotions.
Right. And
Okay.
so and it all goes through these little portals.
And can I say something to John's comment there? I agree with you. They typically die. That's why I thought maybe she was like mostly dead. Like maybe like if people die for like 2 minutes and then they come back to life.
No, that's the trick is getting in there. That's why.
So how does she get in there if you think this is the world? Well, I guess it is the world between worlds,
right? And so that's the hard part, is that in the lore of Rebels, the hardest part and what Palpatine was trying to master is because if you can master getting into the world between worlds, you have ultimate power, because now you have power over time travel and you can literally do anything. And so what the trick is that if you have an entry point, which there are several established portals, and you have the proper force technique to enter, then you can get into it. And once you're in it, then you can pull someone else in. But that's it. That's all you got. You have to have a portal, and you have to have the force ability to pull someone else in.
But okay, so who would have pulled her in? Because unless you're saying like
that's
dead
the
people
mystery.
can do it. Okay.
It looks like Anakin pulled her in.
And
but
usually
is that
it's
possible,
only
though? Like,
if he got himself into that realm from some other point in time in the past. Because that's why I brought up.
You watched the cartoons. I didn't. Did he?
Well, that's the thing. We never saw him go in there. The only people we've ever seen in there on screen are Ezra and Ahsoka. So for Anakin to show up in there, man, the next episode better have some explainification going on.
She seemed to think she was dead based off of her.
Well, her initial reaction, but she knows where she is. Like the character, the character would know where she is.
Damn, see that scene has such a different meaning if you've seen this shit.
Yeah, that's the thing that drives me around the bend with this is it's they've really stepped it up with this episode. Some of the foolishness in the previous 3 makes more sense, although they took an awful long walk around the park to get there. But the fact that you have to have so much previous knowledge for some of these really interesting scenes, the things like you say that would have way more weight, more gravitas to the viewer, that it's starting to get, it's not good. It's why I originally led out with my the 2-part well, the 2-episode release day that we talked about it, where I said this show will not save Disney Plus if this is what they need to save it, nor will it save Star Wars, because there's other issues at play beyond just simply good storytelling or not, because there's so much content starting to exist that it's very difficult to stay on top of it. It's like if you think Halo is just the video games, oh buddy.
But here's the World Between Worlds from the show.
Oh,
From
okay.
the cartoon,
so that does
yeah.
look like exactly what we saw.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn. So
that's
it is.
Ezra in the
see,
middle, and you can see that's Ahsoka running towards him.
And there's the owl over top of her.
well, now you're kind of making this episode less good for me. Like, that's a bummer.
Well, it's like, well, that's the thing. It's like, it's really good, but it would become even better if there were certain things that you could know. It's super annoying. It really is driving me nuts because yeah, I really wish.
But yeah, so it's clearly the same place.
No, you're right. No, but that's just a bummer to me because that just totally changed my entire perception of that scene now.
Well, and that's also why they really, really better do some explainification in
Right
the
down
next
to the
episode.
glowy bits around the feet.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the drippy water effect kind of thing as they're doing it in the live action. But
Well, Morgan, Zelda, that's not true because we're talking about a cartoon series, and never like you. I mean, I don't know. There was not required cartoon watching in the MCU, was there? Not to my knowledge.
no, but at this point, we're reaching the degree where the quote unquote TV shows that are on Disney Plus are practically becoming required viewing to see the movies. And that's starting to be a problem.
Yeah, no, that is.
And
Damn, you guys might have brought my score down a little bit now.
Uh-oh,
'cause I'm-
sorry.
Yeah, it's all good.
So that's the issue, and that's why I'll keep talking about it every time, because even when the episode is absolutely excellent, what the heck is that?
What the heck is what?
Someone
Mercer.
trying to be smart. Yeah, somebody's being smarmy.
Well, I don't know. I thought just trying to.
Well,
use
it's
it
sort of
on-
creative,
talking about
but
the
I don't know.
Pokemon, But anyway, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway,
I don't think
Yeah.
Space Force was spamming.
no, it
Mercer.
wasn't spamming. It was just not as artistically creative of a comment that I might have.
Space
let
Force,
by.
Girl Force, JJ West fans don't leave because of Mercer. He's not mentally regular, as Rocky would say.
Whoa, what happened? What did I miss?
Oh, real quick. Actually, if you want to get started on let's go through the timeline of the episode itself, because I'd like to try to stop for 9, because Charity's making something yummy for food.
Yeah, but I want to know what I missed.
Huh?
Oh, in the comment?
Yeah, what
Nothing bad. Nothing
Oh no,
crazy.
it just said Salty Trekker. I'm gonna watch it. I hope we see her pussy again. Of course, I mean her cat chicken. Have a great chat, guys. So she's trying to use the Pokemon character that's like
Yeah.
cat, trying to anyway, it's fine.
Oh,
It's fine.
okay.
I don't think it was necessary to. I'm unhiding because I don't think it was necessary to go that far. But I mean, you can block the comment, but that's once. Like, they're not blasting. So anyway,
All right. So no problem, Mercer. I
Look at this!
appreciate
Look
you.
at this droid, like trying to be all Han Solo on his back, picks and stuff.
yeah, and unfortunately, darkness.
Yes. Very,
Oh,
very
that's
dark.
Thanks, Mercer. That's fine. Sometimes it's just.
Yeah. Hey, Mercer, I will never get mad at you for trying to help.
Yeah, man.
No. Yeah,
And
no.
So just to be clear,
Yeah.
you are a good guy.
I just figured you, who every time I'm on a stream with you, you've got your pussy on screen. or Pussycat on screen, that you would have appreciated the comment. So
There's that third rail. Touch.
Anyway,
Oh,
but yeah,
but
and Arabic with the first super chat of the day.
Super chat.
With $2 saying hello there and stuff and things. Thank you so much, Arabic. Helping
thank you,
people
Arabic.
out.
We appreciate it.
$2
We just-
closer to
Yeah, we just need
getting-
48 more dollars so I can talk him into upgrading his StreamYards or whatever.
All right, so yes. Now, and by the way, big props to Filoni for using practical droids. And, you know, I do like the fact
Is that is a practical droid then?
yeah, he uses, these are all practical droids. They don't use CG droids in this show, and so
Nice.
so they're puppets basically, which is a cool. You can tell the difference, and I do appreciate that. Anyway, so Sabine and what's the name of that droid again?
Haiyong or something like that.
oh.
Haiyong. It's a weird name. It's like Haiyong, right?
Hu Yang.
Hu Yang.
Yeah, I think it's Hu Yang.
I'm grabbing it right here. Just a second.
It's either Hu Yang or Haiyong, whatever.
Yeah,
tomato,
it's
tomato.
Yeah.
Dumb name. Why can't they get C-3PO is a much better name for a droid, but
Hu Yang or Yu Yang. Yeah, it's
numbers
but it's
and
been
letters. That's what you need for a droid name.
but it's been around since into the cartoon, so that's kind of we're stuck with the name.
Damn,
for now.
Twinkle. I didn't want to try to like keep you safe anyway. I see how it is. My fans are turning against me. It's cool. It's whatever.
Why are your fans turning against you?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. You're not reading. the
So
comments.
it's
You never do.
treason, is it?
So and so they're trying to fix up the ship, and it's taking time.
Dude, who was it? Did you see this? And it only reminds me because her arms are crossed now. I saw somewhere like on Twitter where somebody made the comment, if you made a drinking game out of every time Ahsoka does this, you'd be hammered. Like, did you see that tweet or
No, I did not.
no? Yeah, I don't remember who did it, but I thought that was funny because she does cross her arms a lot.
Oh
She did
yeah,
that in
even
the
in the
cartoon?
cartoon, even
She
in the
did?
cartoon, tons.
She did- yeah, that was her pose.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Ahsoka that's just her thing. So yeah, Ahsoka is crossing her arms in front of the ship, you know, like staring off into the woods. And funny that there's people out there and she doesn't sense them.
They're not there yet. It's a little
No,
later. And it's
but-
droids at first. It's just
yeah,
right.
it was some kind of a droid that
Although,
went out there first.
I wanted to make the thumbnail the droid boxing match, but everything was too damn dark. I couldn't, every time I tried to clip a thing from it, it just, you couldn't
Come on,
see
you-
it, you know.
Don't you know how to lighten pictures up in Photoshop? I know
yeah,
that.
but then it never looks the same.
It doesn't look good, man. Yeah, trust me, I tried, you know, because I
You
thought
could-
that was funny because they were literally just boxing each other.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yeah, you know.
yeah, yeah.
So Sabine says, you know, a little foreshadowing here that she can count on her.
Yeah, that was when I watched it the second time. I was like, "Ooh, yeah." That was definitely foreshadowing for the fall.
And so,
See, look at that. That's lit well. Why couldn't we have that? I mean, that
Yeah,
looks
you
fine.
see, some of these shots are just beautifully lit,
Yeah.
and some of them aren't. And I don't, you know. But I think the difference is this is a CG shot. You know,
Okay.
because they don't have a full size practical ship.
I don't think. Well, it would be surprising if they did.
I almost
Yeah.
wish they had a show like Star Trek does. You know, the Ready Room. I wish they had a Ready Room type of show for Star Wars. Oh, look at this.
Super chat.
An insane hippie insane with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, buddy. The Star Wars cannot be saved because they will never decanonize the sequel trilogy and apologize to the fans.
I don't know. You said they have this time travel stuff. Maybe they could. You know, like.
But you know what? Here's the funny thing about that insane hippie insane.
Wow. Twinkle's gonna marry Ariel. Wow. So my two fangirls have turned on me and are gonna just go with
marry each other.
Wow. All right.
You turned.
But you know what? If they marry each other and you move in with them, that could work.
Three's Company too.
Maybe in Utah. I mean, what are you talking about?
You could be their love slave.
Well, hey, maybe like find out the name of their landlord, and maybe you've got a sitcom on your hands.
Yeah, come and knock on our door. We've been waiting for you. All right, so but no, let me say this: insane hippie insane. You're right. Okay, so they can't technically decanonize it. How? Because here's the problem. There are fans of the sequel trilogy. I know that sounds crazy to people that hate the sequel trilogy.
Dude, I know people that love The Last Jedi.
Right. There are fans. That being said, there is a simple solution. Never go back to it. And so all you do is what they're doing right now. You stay with stuff that is before the sequel trilogy.
And we've got a good 20 years between now and The Force Awakens.
And believe me, Thrawn is the ultimate villain. Thrawn is
I think we're going to see him next episode because like Morgan, you know,
unfortunately, Balin is a great villain, but it's sad that
I know.
But
I wouldn't even call him a villain, to be honest with you, man.
He's a great villain. He's just not. He's the actor's.
I don't think he's evil. No,
I think he's going to turn into some kind of weird anti-hero by the end.
Yeah,
perhaps, but whatever he is, the actor's gone. So, that's the sad thing. But Mercer wants to know: is Thrawn a better villain than Luthen? Absolutely. Luthen is the terrorist
from Andor.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah, he's definitely a far better.
Because Luthen is supposed to be a hero.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, he's a superior character to Luthen.
Yeah. And so, absolutely, he's a better character than Luthen. Thrawn is an insanely good character. And so, if they do him right, I mean, just from what I've seen of him in Star Wars Rebels, if they do him well, holy crap.
So how did they do him the same way in Rebels they did in the expanded universe, where like basically he's like he learns about the civilizations he's going to conquer through art and stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
Super.
In fact,
thinky, introspective. Yeah.
Yes.
He actually has a collection of Sabine's work.
In the cartoon, he does.
Yeah. So
and that's canon, so that means he would. And Sabine's with them, and they're probably going to meet.
Oh this could be a very interesting reintroduction because he stole stuff of Sabine's, and he stole art that belonged to Hera's family as well. And he stole a bunch of stuff from Lothal in general, so that's Ezra's planet. So, it's going to be.
Who's Lothal?
That's Ezra Bridger's home planet.
It's a planet. Okay.
Yeah, that's the place with the highway to nowhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We got a highway to nowhere. But yeah. So there's a mysterious droid looking at the well-lit ship that apparently is the same ship that was in the dark a second ago.
I know. That's what's weird to me.
Yeah. And there's the lights that we're missing on the ship.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hey, without saying the name, am I wrong? Does Morgan not have an uncanny resemblance to she who shall not be named?
Perhaps.
Makes me hate her even more, which I actually
Uh-oh.
was kind of working for me. But
Wow.
do you not see it? I can't unsee it.
Dude, I'm not going there.
You'd be
I'm not-
better to say than I, but I won't say
Look
no.
at that face, the nose,
Although I think for me, because there's definitely a bigger touch of
I think you're just angry.
Sword in the Stone, King Arthur influence going on, and I like to call her Morgan Le Fay and not Morgan Elsbeth.
Yeah, I'll call her Morgan Rivera. But anyway,
Wow, you're just
Professor McGonagall. That's what Arabic just said.
oh wow.
Oh, that's terrible.
So yeah, we got Balin, Morgan, Chihuahua, Ezra.
We keep what's her actual name? We keep calling her Chihuahua. Does anybody know her actual name?
I don't know, but I like Chihuahua. I like that.
Shin
Yeah,
Hati.
she does look, Shin. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Because Balin yells her name because later on, because she gets tossed
when
into
he's
the
like, I
rock.
gave her my word, let her go.
Yeah.
And what I do think it's interesting that they call this the Henge.
Yeah, I mean it's
It
technically,
does have an interesting
it's-
resemblance to
yeah, they
Stone.
call that site
Oh,
the henge,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
is not an incorrect way to say that. That's a proper English word to use for
they're
that.
just
So
trying to lean into the whole maybe Stonehenge is a alien portal here on Earth.
hey,
type of
could
thing,
be.
you know?
Oh, hey.
Another super chat.
It says Filoni will mess up Thrawn. He proved this with Rebels. Ooh, shots fired. Thrawn from the books would outmaneuver and play Ahsoka and Sabine like puppets.
I will fight you on that because Thrawn was not up against Ahsoka and Sabine. Thrawn was up against Ezra Bridger. And on top of that, it was exposed, homework time, in an episode of Rebels that Thrawn totally does not understand the nature of the Force.
I want one of these nerds to do you know how in comic books when they reference something from the past, they'll put a little asterisk and then at the bottom in a yellow box.
Yeah,
they'll say,
it's gonna feel like
I want some nerd to go through these episodes and just do that for me. You know what I mean? Just put a little thing at the bottom.
Yeah.
Thrawn.
Thrawn's only weakness was not understanding the Force. And that was Ezra's strength.
Yeah, and he completely
just-
and believe it or not, the whole thing with the world beyond worlds and being exposed to that and a whole bunch of other stuff, it's so hard to explain it without tripping over my thoughts on it. But basically, Thrawn in the end stood no chance against Ezra because Ezra had already figured out, thanks to Thrawn actually letting him on board his own ship, had already long since figured out what he was going to do.
Right. Don't move off this. Pause.
Sure.
But Salty, you're getting shots fired from Thomas Potts. I think he gave you some money some other way, and he's getting a little upset that you're not paying attention.
Oh, did you?
And two, I don't know. He says, guess Salty is ignoring his other ways to donate. So there's that. But before I get into another comment, just look at this shot here. Tell me Balin isn't the most he's
got such a great presence.
Yes. Oh my God, he does. Yeah. He's fucking perfectly cast. I hate that he died way too young.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's only a couple of years older than me.
Just terrible, man. Heartbreaking. Did you figure out how Thomas hooked you up?
I'm looking now.
All right. And then and Stan, yes, back in the 90s, late 90s, I read those. As well as the Darth Beard is cool. He just has bad. What? Yeah, Tim, the actor died in real life about 2 months ago, which was a bummer.
Yeah, it really does suck because he was so perfect.
But my favorite, the one I remember the most, though, Stan, was Dark Empire, because that's the one where Luke was like, had the hubris to think he could pretend to be on the dark side and not be seduced by it, but then he was. That's actually probably my favorite non-canon, EU story. All right, so
Oh wow, that went silent. Yeah, I was gonna say.
yeah,
That's
I
a
know.
lot of radio silence there for a second.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, let's.
So
move.
we got Space Ghost Coast
Well,
to
I
Coast.
do see. Okay,
Dark
so
Force
I
Wielder.
see,
Then we got
Long
Shin.
live the Empire. Weird. I was told by Rebel scum that the Empire was racist, human-only government.
And it is.
Ariel, I completely agree. I really
And
hope.
yes, I did order the DVD, but I haven't gotten it yet because I had a slight technical issue with that. But it will arrive soon.
No, Tim, it's not. I hated Rise of Skywalker. It's not. Anyway, whatever. It's just, like we're talking about Ahsoka season 1, episode 4 today.
Yeah, and yes, unfortunately, Ray Stevenson passed away just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a couple months now. I think it's been about like 8 weeks. I think.
Has it been almost 2 months now?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while now, but
It still sucks.
It does.
Oh wow,
yeah.
it's actually been even longer than that. It was May.
Oh really? Yeah, man, he's so good in this. But hey, what a swan song! What a way to go
Yeah,
out.
I
He's
know.
like,
yeah, his, like, if you look at his, when we get to the lightsaber fights,
dude. Oh, I can't wait. No,
and it's not a stunt man,
he's so stoic and he's so reserved, and he feels more like the good guy than Ahsoka does in that fight. You know what I mean?
I don't think so. I mean, he feels like
I know, not
he
to me.
fights
Like
like
she's
a-
the aggressor. She goes first. He's just very calm. She makes the first attack. He's doing a lot of defense, and during the whole fight, he's like telling her it didn't have to be this way. You know what I don't know. Like, to me, again, I don't know if this is a dude from the cartoons or what, but the whole fight.
He's not from the cartoon.
He's not. Okay. So he just seemed like, I don't know. To me, he kind of seemed more like the good guy than she did during their fight. And when we get to it, I'll talk about that more,
But anyway, back to it. Let's we have the droids surrounding the ship, and we have Sabine checking her weapons because that's what Mandalorians do.
Well, she's a bad Mandalorian because she loses her helmet in this episode, never gets it back, and it's still like if her helmet shows up in a later episode, I'm gonna be pissed because they made it a point to show her helmet get left in the
left. Oh yeah, they very deliberately pointed to that on the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, it's well, I'm sure she'll find it later, because why not?
Because it doesn't make any fracking sense. That's why not. But whatever. Or maybe the droid picked it up for her.
Yeah, because David Tennant probably found it.
Yeah.
He's Doctor Who.
Yeah. Exactly.
So he can find it.
The android's Doctor Who.
Yeah.
One of the Doctor Who actors.
He is actually Doctor Who.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Did you ever watch the Marvel TV show?
yeah, he's also the Purple Man.
Yeah, he played the Purple Man in the What's Her Face?
Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was the main villain.
Yeah.
In the first season.
That's
Yeah,
who's
yeah,
doing
yeah.
the robot's voice.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
he's the Purple Man and Doctor Who. So, so you don't want to mess with that robot.
And you're saying that's practical.
That is, yeah. And so,
Oh, here's the little droid boxing match I was talking about.
Rock'em Sock'em, yeah.
Yeah.
And you notice what makes it so easy for them to do this with practical is you never see their legs.
That's the point. That's why you never see their legs. Is that
because there's somebody down there just controlling them.
There's people underneath there, that are controlling them.
Oh, okay. Because they're practical. Okay.
Yeah.
And how does this even work? How do you muffle? Like this was a weird gripe I had. Like,
covering the mouth.
Yeah,
How does that work? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Because if you cover up a speaker, it's not gonna muffle it like that. Especially if you cover it with something metallic.
Yeah, it'd be like, if anything, it might be louder or something. I don't know.
But this is some really good puppetry. And I, for one, absolutely congratulate them for.
No, I just assumed this was CG, but now that you pointed out we didn't see the bottom, so this is exquisite work if this is puppetry, man.
Yeah. I was absolutely blown away by it. And I really, really appreciate the fact that they wanted to do more practical work. And so but all the droids that we see on this show are practical.
Oh, look at this. Space Force felt the need to say she promises no more cat chicken. I appreciate it. I'm sorry.
No, you can make cat chicken jokes. Just try not to use the P word in them.
Without
too frequently. Without being crafty.
Without the word cat afterwards. Like you could do like Jay Leno used to do that all the time. He would say pussy cat. He'd have a little beat in between the two words to get away
pussy
with it. ...
cat.
Cat.
that's how you can get away with it.
This is
anyway, but I was, I really, really appreciated the fact that they wanted to make this all practical, and that they pulled it off because I think it looks great.
Now that I really did. I thought it was CG. So
and they generally either show the top half or the bottom half. And when they show the full droid, it's usually from a distance. And what they do there, I don't know if you remember what they did with C-3PO. Did you ever see the
dude in a suit?
No. When in the prequels, when they had C-3PO and he was
the skeleton version of him. Basically.
Yeah. Did you ever see how they did that?
No, how they do that.
They actually had a guy in one of those green screen suits that was tied to that C-3PO. So he's walking behind him and tied to it. And so,
Tim, I agree. It was great. That's why I really did want to make it the thumbnail. I just every time I try to look like crap.
It's just too dark.
Well, then when I would lighten it up, you could see like pixel blocks and stuff because what.
Right.
Anyway.
So then that's when Sabine and
I like how Ahsoka uses the Force to move the one dude to where Sabine could kill him. That was kind of nice teamwork. That was cool.
So Sabine and Ahsoka come out to take on the assassin droids, and of course we also see the practicality of Beskar armor here.
Yeah, I really was wanting to see. Because can't Beskar withstand a lightsaber blow? Like that, we learned that in Mandalorian, right? I was really expecting to see that in the fight coming up.
Yeah, I wanted to see more of that too. It's like her hold up her arms to block a lightsaber.
Yeah, I think that would have been cool. Yeah.
But we didn't get any of that. But we did see her use her various weaponry.
When she fights
I've-
Shin in a minute, I'm
Yeah.
going to talk about something that happens there that I loved. I absolutely loved.
You're talking about when she fakes out the force.
Fakes the force. Yeah, I love that part.
That
We'll
was
talk about it when we get
beautiful.
there. Yeah, that was so good.
That was absolutely beautiful. And so, like, see right here, he's just standing there. And so, you know, they do stuff like that. And then
I
we
got a
see-
question. Did a green tentacle chick have that fat ass in the cartoon, or is that just a live action?
Oh man, she had a badonkadonk, man.
Okay, okay.
The way they arted her up in the cartoon, she was like the mom from The Incredibles.
Is that really where we're going here? Is that really where
Well, you paused it right on her, like, just like, you know, she's-
But we do finally get a nice shot of the ghost.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
Oh,
yeah.
not only that, but later,
Yeah,
we get a
to
nice
see
shot in
fly a minute.
space. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 And we actually, this is our first really good shot of
Oh, you guys were
Copper.
wrong, by the way. That kid is not green in the series.
No,
Oh,
his
wow,
hair
really,
is his,
Twinkle. I feel
his-
betrayed.
Super chat.
So much for my fan club. Right.
and Twinkle with $5 says, "I'm hungry for dinner, and I just paid to know what a delicious meal Jason is having for dinner tonight. I need ideas."
sheet nachos. So a big cookie pan full of nacho chips, and then you put all the yummy stuff on top, whatever you want.
What kind of yummy stuff are you having?
I don't actually know. It will be a surprise.
And
Well,
my
there you
feelings
go.
are hurt. It's okay.
So sheet nachos. Not the thing that sounds like sheet, like if you were saying it with an accent. Sheet, not the other
official.
word.
Twinkle's defected. She's now in the salty fan club. She's not. In the
Yes,
Dork Knight fan
indeed.
club
Twinkles
anymore.
is my fan, not yours.
Yeah.
And
It's fine.
because, you know, I don't have a
It's
problem
okay.
with
Another
Twinkle
Quaalude.
marrying
She'll love me in the
Ariel.
morning.
I'm okay with their marriage. Doesn't bother me. I support their marriage.
Can I? Let's put a pin in this, since we didn't really do any derailing in the first. So I watched. It just came out on streaming, which is weird because it's still in the theaters. I watched Mutant Mayhem last night, the new Ninja Turtles movie that everybody shat on and said it was terrible and woke and everything. I liked it a lot. I liked it as somebody who's watched Ninja
So-
Turtles.
We can confirm that Danny's woke.
No, it wasn't woke. None of the stuff that
You just
people
said
said
it was
happened. Splinter, no, I didn't say it. Nerdrotic and Midnight's Edge and all those guys said it was woke.
Well, they say everything's woke.
I guess, but
Well, they're
Captain
batting-
Fandom Nerd,
yeah.
he's calling you out like Thomas Potts did. Apparently, you got another
Uh-oh.
freaking. Why am I?
Check your
Why do I
schmoo.
do this?
Did I
Why
get
do we
another
do
one?
this?
Man, what is up with that?
I'm just gonna go
Today.
I'm exclusive on my channel now. I'm out of here. See you guys later.
Well, thank you, Captain Phantom Nerd. Let me refresh the thingy here and see if I can see. I did get. Yeah, I don't know what's up with this. This is like being stupid.
It won't give you the blings.
It's not giving me the notification. So just tell me in the chat. But give me a second.
Arabic, what accent did I use? I'm a performance monkey, especially if I get a tip out of it. I'll say
Your
take it easy. What
performance
accent?
monkey. Did you just?
Well, no,
say
he
that?
said no. Arabic is like Dork Knight. Can you say take it easy in that accent? What accent did I do?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't remember doing an accent. But anyway,
And thank you so much. And it just said because I wanted to. Thank you so much, Captain Phantom Nerd.
Captain Phantom Nerd, thank you for the super tip.
You are the man with a $10 super tip.
Holy shite, dude, we're almost there. You might be able to afford by the end of the stream to give me
Get a
my
month or
privileges
so.
back. Yeah,
Or two, something.
something. Yes, Arabic. Oh, that was Scarface. Okay, another Quaalude. That one. All right, hold up.
Sorry, another Quaalude?
That's from another Quaalude. She'll love me in the morning. That's from Scarface when he's talking about his wife, Michelle Pfeiffer or whatever, who's all pissed off at him. Take it easy. Maybe. I don't know.
You do not endorse Quaaludes here.
Well, first of all, you can't get Quaaludes anymore. They don't make them. That was before my time.
Oh, I don't
It's a
know.
shame because I've heard
They
lots
don't
of
make
good things
Quaaludes
about them.
anymore? I didn't know that.
Oh no, they don't make. And Mercer says he
Yeah,
left you a super. You know what? If you guys were doing it for me, you'd get instant gratification. Immediately, because I got my eye on the ball. I'm like,
Let me
this
check
guy.
that, Mercer. And I apologize that I'm not getting the notification. I'm not sure why. Yes, Mercer, I see that. I see $1 from Mercer there. And
Super tip.
Kronos, of course,
And-
we're talking spoilers, bro. It's a review of the episode.
Mercer,
Come on,
this
man.
episode is good, but still follows strangely paced and bad acted episodes. Can't decide if it's good until it's resolved. It's okay.
Yeah, that's high praise from Mercer lately.
I guess.
I'll take it.
So thank you, Mercer. I do appreciate it. And I don't know what's wrong with the notifications on here.
No. Ricky Ricardo accent, Twinkle, would be when you sent him a tip instead of me. And I would be like, Twinkle, you got some splaining to do. That's my Ricky Ricardo. Uh-oh. Just as I say that, I get a $10
Super tip.
Oh, you're supposed to send it to
from
me?
Twinkle. Thank you, Twinkle.
No,
You're the best.
Twinkle, you're hurting my feelings.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Sharing the
no.
love.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Now I can die now. We're good. I'm happy. That's all I get. I know.
So
Kronos says the
You're
tip.
not going to read the message to us?
I don't see a message. There's no message. It's through that Botrix. They don't show me the message. They just show me the amount.
show me the cash.
And who gave
That's
it to
not
me.
True. You get a message on Botrick.
I didn't get a damn message. There's no message. You told me this last time. And I didn't have a message. And maybe
Yeah,
she
there
didn't
was
give me a
nothing.
message.
Yeah.
If you know what? If you go to PayPal, you can see it.
I went to PayPal.
Yeah, he did that the last time.
Remember?
It wasn't there.
And it wasn't there.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine.
Some
It's
people
whatever.
just don't know how to work
Yeah.
PayPal.
But
Hey, Twinkles, I would read you the message.
oh.
See,
Oh's has to separate. There's gonna
I
be
would
fighting.
read the message.
They're gonna be fighting.
Just to be
I
clear.
got to get in the middle.
Just to be clear,
Yes, okay.
even though I might not get the notification, I would definitely read the message. So
There's
Oh,
man,
apparently
I
she
gotta
said, "Now I want nachos." Well, there we go.
Oh, she
Nachos.
says now I want nachos.
Nachos.
Well, that should be a tip for Jason. Although he's
I am
You
set up.
you never put it out.
Yeah,
there.
he's just not. We're just not streaming on his channel.
Oh yeah.
If you
We
take
could,
the long
though.
walk
We could,
around the
though.
park and you're feeling so inspired, yes, there is a link on my main me page. You can
There
throw
is
money at
if
me.
you look in my description, I put all the links I know. Oh,
We don't need
You know
to
what,
put a link
Jason?
for tipping Jason too.
you should send me it. Well, because I put yours in my.
I am like the last person you should be throwing money to.
This is true. If anything,
If you
Um,
feel Sherry,
I
only do
yeah.
so if you shared with Michael first.
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say, split it between me and Mike.
Yeah, I'm the
you know.
I'm the one that's on Social Security here.
You know what I used to say to people that would like use that as an objection when I try to sell them stuff? Oh, that's great. That means you know exactly how much money you're getting every month. Let me see how I can work this into your budget.
Oh no, that's true. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
Stanley
actually
says
he
Jason
had
already
one of
has
my
8
8 houses. That's gonna go down in infamy.
Yeah, Jason and his 8 houses.
Mike makes one snarky joke that someone in the chat doesn't get, and then that sticks forever.
Hey, it's true. You have 8 houses, so
Man, if I have 8 houses, I'm a real estate tycoon.
you have 8 houses. You said it. So I guess you are a real estate tycoon.
Yeah.
Not only does he have 8 houses, but he has a steady stream of pitchforks and torches, according to Ariel. So
That's
there's
right.
that.
Apparently, I also have a factory for farm equipment.
Well, and now you have a couple of mowers too. So
Yeah, well,
you're
that is
building a
actually
new
true
house
now.
just to hold your mower.
You guys keep talking about food. I'm gonna have to bust out my leftover cups.
Yeah, actually, we gotta
Yeah,
like
well,
speed
I'm
roll.
trying, but
I
you
I
guys
know,
keep
I know.
wanting to talk about.
No,
mowers.
we're just
Food
interacting with the chat.
That's right.
That's why people come here.
We're,
They
we're
like,
entertaining people.
yeah.
All right, so back to the show. This was actually our first full-on shot of Chopper.
This
that
is
we
true.
got.
Him not in just the top of his head in a spaceship. Yeah.
Yeah. We also see our first full-on shot of a Gonk droid in forever. Sitting here walking around in the background. And by the way, look at that backdrop of the Republic fleet. Is that just beautiful or what? No. They just the ship.
Oh well, yeah, like everything. I watched Eckhart earlier today, and he was just gasming, and for all the right reasons over the ship porn again. I mean, they've got the look just nailed.
Dude, there's another shot in a little bit when she leaves.
Oh, when they showed the whole fleet.
When they show that was sexy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You can't leave." And
Yeah, and he
like,
saw that
"Watch
look on
me."
his face. He's like,
Yeah.
"Watch me." She's like,
Yeah.
"Watch me, bro."
Yeah.
And so she and her kid are getting ready to leave, along with Chopper.
So I was going to say, even though his hair is not bright green enough, somebody on Twitter was doing side by sides. I saw like a tweet where they're doing side by sides of the cartoon and the live action.
Yeah.
And the kid's skin was more like yellow
Orange?
or orange.
Yeah, that was kind of thematic in the show too. I mean, if you look at some of the other characters, they kind of leaned. It's kind of like The Simpsons. Everyone's yellow unless they're black.
Right. So it's funny. So this is the shot I was talking about.
Yeah.
So Twinkle says she's
Look at
exhausted
that.
from fighting library bandits all day. You should explain to them what you mean because it's hilarious. There are these douchebags. She's a librarian. And there are these douchebags that apparently they're called the water bandits. And I don't want to mess this up, Twinkle. So you should expound on that in the hey, Daniel, welcome to the party. Thanks for joining us.
Look at that.
Look at the ghost. Look at the ghost.
Ghost with
That's
Home
the
One
first
in the background.
Yeah.
The
This is
entire Republic
for
fleet
me,
there.
somebody who hasn't watched the cartoon. This is my first full,
Yeah, your first
view of
full ship porn of the ship.
yeah,
Yeah.
in all its glory here.
So what do you think of the Ghost?
I mean, I still think it's a weird looking ship, but it like
Does
I
it
can
work
see
for
that
you?
it's Corellian, the little bubble cockpit in the front and the texture and everything. So like, yeah, I'm digging it,
But yeah,
Kronos, you should. This is out of all of them, this is the only one I would recommend so far. Like,
but yeah,
you get some space stuff, you get some actual Star Wars stuff a little later. You get lots of lightsaber duels. It's and
Super chat.
all right. So the new TMNT had some unneeded race and sexual preferences of a.
okay. So no, hold up. I'm going to argue that.
It is
What are the sexual preferences? Because everybody tried to say Splinter was gay, and he went out of his way to refer to that disgusting bug he ends up dating as a she. Multiple times he says she. So he's not gay. And
I never watched it, so I have no context.
I had no issue whatsoever. I actually had this conversation with the ex-wife last night. I had no issue whatsoever with them making April O'Neil black. My problem was they could have made her black with the same figure as every other April O'Neil we've known. But although she was a chunky black chick, I didn't mind it, and apparently neither did Leonardo, because they were kind of planting the seeds that those two are going to be a couple. Which that's kind of why I liked Splinter and the Bug hooking up.
So wait, April is black now?
She's a frumpy black chick, but that didn't bother me at all.
She's
it's a polite way of saying she's a little large, But
so they made her fat and black.
Whoa, hey, bro! I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Is she fat or not?
Yes.
No, I wouldn't. No, whatever. I'm not getting into that fight. No, that's what I liked about the Turtles. This was the first time the Ninja Turtles were played by actual teenagers. And by the end of the spoiler alerts, if you don't want to hear 1, 2, 3, by the end of the movie, they're in high school. Like I actually really liked it a lot. I didn't think I would because I heard all this hate and vitriol being spewed at it. But like Ice Cube is the main villain and the soundtrack is awesome. Like, I don't know. I feel like people just want to hate on stuff to hate on stuff. I liked it a lot. I definitely would recommend it. And it's streaming now, so you can watch it.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out at some point.
Streaming on what?
Oh, I don't remember. Hold up. Mutant Mayhem.
Well,
I want to say it was. I think it was Paramount. Well, I have them all. Hold up. Well, you can rent. Oh, wow. You can watch it on everything. Amazon. It's everywhere. You just have to pay for it. It's $20. So I probably watch it on Amazon then. It's on Apple TV, YouTube.
Oh, I hate
Amazon.
Being in Canada.
Oh, is it not available in Canada?
No, not really.
Oh well, I'm sure it will be soon.
Oh yeah.
All right. I enjoyed it as a Ninja Turtles fan. I actually enjoyed it, and they don't have I thought it was clever. They don't have the turtle wagon. Can you remove insane hippies things? So
I'm sorry.
Thanks.
There we go.
So they don't have the turtle wagon yet, but what they do is they commandeer a pizza truck. So it's got like the big old pizza slice on top of it and the decor, and that's what they're driving. Because they're kids. This is their first time. This is a true origin. They're kids venturing out into the real, into the world above the sewers for the first time. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. And Jackie Chan as Splinter was freaking hilarious. I loved it. I thought it was really good. But I also liked, because I can already hear Tom Connors and yelling at me. I also liked the Kevin Smith He-Man Masters of the Universe show. So there's that. So take my opinion with a grain of salt.
Right,
oh, we all have that guilty pleasure list. They all exist. But yeah, we gotta. I'm gonna have a pretty heavy stoppish right around 9. So
okay, so we gotta hurry it up. We got 15 minutes. Is what he's
Yeah.
saying.
15 minutes. Wow.
yeah,
Let's get through this then. All right. So
this is my only gripe, by the way. Where is Zeb?
yeah. So we get this guy, but no Zeb.
That's the dude from Mandalorian, though. Remember?
It is, yes.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they turned on the map and
Do some coordinates and then some
to
awesome
start
lightsaber fighting.
right. And so then we start the lightsaber fighting, and the lightsaber fighting pretty much continues for the rest of the episode.
Yeah. I do love the look on Shin's face with the "you have no power."
No, because at first, when she puts her hand up, she turns her head expecting to get pushed back, and then when that doesn't happen, she's like, slow turn. You have no power.
You suck.
And then in the face.
Yeah.
That was like the best moment in the whole fight.
Yeah.
Right there.
And look, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's this dude in half, but then he spits out.
Okay.
What is this?
So the Night Witches of Dathomir have this crazy magic and that let them reanimate things. And they actually did it in the Clone Wars cartoon to Darth Maul's brother. They had very heavily affected him. I don't know if we'll call it modified or whatever, enhanced. But Darth Maul's brother was made huge. and very much enchantified or whatever.
Jason sped through all this. Hold up. Oh my God. So yeah, she lit up first.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know,
she lights the fire first, and then they go at it.
And he just was like, and he's trying to talk to her. He's like, Anakin spoke highly of you. And and then like, and she's just basically, I don't want to talk about the past.
And also, I don't know you, so you suck. Because it's like, I've never heard about you. Which actually leaned in even harder to the fact that she was going to get absolutely owned in this fight, because the whole she ignited first. She was pushy. She embraced her anger when she thought that Sabine was dead, and whipped Shin into the side of that.
That hasn't happened yet, but
she lost control when she thought Sabine was dead. That's what really pushed it.
But even before that, she was clearly the aggressor. That's why I'm like look at how
he fought like a Sith. He
didn't. He was very poised and reserved. No, I disagree.
He is fighting with raw power. And
later, Kronos. You still spell your name wrong, but later. Thanks for stopping by.
and I actually this guy is the first guy since Vader that to me felt like a genuine threat.
Well, the fact that the guy is huge and they've got the shoulder bolsters on, and that's a wall of man coming at you with a glowy stab stick.
Yeah. And I mean, like when he's swinging and he's pushing, he looks like he's going to just he
makes it look so effortless also, and he's very poised and calm and in control of his, like, if anything, she seems like more like the Sith, because she's like emotion driven, like she's angry, she's going at him, and he's just like, like, and a lot, I know we don't have the subtitles here, but a lot of the stuff he's saying during this fight is not very Sith like. It's just like
it's like well, I mean, it goes back to how we were making the comment about in the previous episode or the second episode, that he seemed to be awfully romantic about the Jedi.
Yeah.
And the idea that it would suck that she dies. I just heard a pling plong.
Oh, there we go. See, here's what I was talking about. Her helmet.
Somebody bought me nacho cheese. I got a nacho cheese from somebody.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there's your.
It was in the corner of my screen there.
Here it is. Here's the part where she's like fakes the Force and then shoots her with the little like Mandalorian thing.
Yeah, that I loved, because
that was awesome.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, she's gonna use the Force, really? And then and she even when her head goes back, and I'm like, wow, did it work? And then she's like, you have no power.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, snap. And then she shoots her with her Mando gun.
Oh, Twinkle's the one that sent you the nachos.
Yeah.
How did she even find you? That's so sweet.
She went digging.
Aww. That's mad respect. Very
nice.
It's
a nacho tip.
She's not your fan. Just kidding.
She's just my cheese
fan. She's not your fan.
Fair enough.
So I like this right here where Ahsoka's using the hinge to brace herself.
That is kind of cool. I don't think I've seen that before. That was kind of cool.
And it makes sense because she's so much smaller that she would need that. And so I kind of dig that. That's there.
So Tim says Sabine did block a lightsaber with her arm guards. I have no problem. I will definitely go back and read.
Oh yeah, well yeah, she absolutely did, and Beskar absolutely does stop.
Yeah,
lightsabers.
If she did, I didn't catch it.
Yeah, I missed it.
She super did.
I'll rewatch this episode.
Right.
Yeah, it's she's going backwards, and I think it's after she got disarmed, and yeah, she did a real good job blocking it. So,
but yeah, this is one of my favorite shots. Though right here is just seeing her brace herself against the hinge, because I like the fact that they're using both his size and her agility in the same shot.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's a good shot right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good pause. That's
and I also love the fact that the two of them actually, we're going to see it from Balin first and then from Ahsoka when she's near the edge, where they both actually use the Force to help push their saber towards the other person.
right.
So, Tim, to that point you just made, Tim, that's why I don't think he was like, that's why he didn't feel like a Sith to me. He wasn't trying to take low blows. He wasn't trying to kill her. He was talking to her. He's like, it didn't have to come to this. You're the one doing this, like he's a very complicated, complex character. I hate that the actor died because,
Yeah, I know.
I could,
Well, it'll be
I would
interesting
love
to see where it goes. That's
Yeah.
That's why I'm curious as to where Filoni has the character written. And so Sabine pulls her trick.
He's not trying to turn her. He's not doing that kind of talk. He's not. We've seen that before. He's just
he tries to turn Sabine, and is successful. And that's where he pushes her off the cliff.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to have to kill Ahsoka, which was already established in an earlier episode.
Yeah.
And he would prefer that she agree with him, not necessarily join him.
Especially because she turned her back on the Jedi many years ago.
Yeah. However, Balin already knows very well what Sabine's weakness is. So and it stays absolutely in character with her weaknesses throughout.
So never really in the movies until the sequel trilogy did we see a Jedi, correct me if I'm wrong, be able to kind of read someone's mind. Because in this scene right here, he puts his lightsaber away and he's like, I know what your hesitation is. It's because the idea was well established because Vader was all the sister. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you have the ability, you can do it. And something else that's been established canonically with Star Wars is that some people that are Force sensitive are more Force sensitive in certain ways. So some people are extremely in tune with animals. Some people are extremely in tune with people. So it could be it's well within the realms of acceptability that he could figure out what Sabine's gotcha is without actually having to make her nose bleed.
I thought that was really cool. I really dug that.
Yeah. So he figured, okay, what's her thing? He
gets really
but he knew she wasn't going to blow that thing up, or she would have already.
Yeah, but it's also like he does the whole
and Ariel, Ezra was not just space whales, but
all animals. Yeah, he wasn't just Free Willy. He was like into like dogs and cats and birds and everything. He's like freaking Dr. Doolittle of Jedi.
Yeah, if you watch Ezra can communicate with all sorts of animals.
Well, I just want to say back onto this part. I like how he puts his lightsaber away and he just starts talking to her. Hey, we got the same goal.
Yeah.
Shots fired at
the sequel. Ray, well, Ray is just perfect in every way.
Who's Ray? Oh, you mean Mary Sue. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You used the wrong name, Tom.
So right here where this is him using.
This is where he's putting his lightsaber away. He's like,
we
don't gotta fight. You're not gonna do that. I want to find Thrawn, you want to find Ezra. They're in the same place. Let's just join me and together. Well, maybe he's a Sith. No, I'm just kidding.
And it's like as soon as he kept walking towards her.
God, such good acting. Look at that face.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
and
we
again,
talk
what did
about
I
that
say
a
at
lot
the
with
start?
that-
Directors, because
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the director for episode 2 and 3 is that lady. That if you look at her body of work, she's not that good. I don't know why she got tapped for this, but whatever. Disney owns everything, so what are you gonna do? But yeah, I mean, dude that did this one is, Beyond the Spider-Verse.
Well, it goes back to in Battlestar Galactica, I talk about all the time how the guy that plays Baltar does so much acting with just his face. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
In this scene here, Balin does the same thing. Like it's just like guy is so good.
Well, and so does Sabine. If you look at Sabine right here, and the conflict in her, because she's right here, she's trying to decide whether or not to basically give up this map, which she knows, is the whole thing that Ahsoka basically just died for.
Oh yeah, we sped through the whole part where Ahsoka thought Sabine was dead.
Yeah, you didn't get the shot just before this when she rushes in, and yeah, she flings Shin just wham right into
she was so
that was brutal, by the way.
She let her anger get the best of her because she was like, I didn't listen to the robot droid. We split up, and my Padawan, pseudo Padawan, got killed. That she thought. So yeah, she was like, that was powerful. Yeah. And Ariel, I just want to say, no, Mary Poppins is not perfect. She's practically perfect in every way. So your argument is null and void there. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, just again to point out the way a show, an episode, a movie can feel because of the director's skills. Mando season 3, episode 5 with the pirates, when the ship comes down and everything, that was actually full of action. That was directed by the same guy that did this episode.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that was a fun episode.
Yeah.
Jason, it's 5. If we got to lose you, brother, it's been real. It's been good.
Yeah, I kind of got pulled into some stuff offside that is definitely of the honorable really reasons to depart.
You want to? Can you finish up, or do you need to run?
Well, we could spend another 5 minutes here.
All right.
Okay. All right.
So let's wrap it up.
Tell me that. Oh, never mind.
Anyway. What's that? No, go back.
Nothing. No. Don't go back. Please don't go back.
So George,
I know what you're about to say. Never mind. I read your brain from here.
Yeah. Okay.
4 time zones. I still got it.
So Paris shows up with the squad of Doom. Just as they're getting ready to leave.
Yeah.
She decides to warp out just as they show up.
Now, I have something. Now, I have something I got to say about this, because at first I was worried that they were going to go and recanonize the stupid smash into things.
Oh, the Holdo maneuver?
Yes. But if you watch, they all get stuck in the middle of the ring and get zapped by energy feedback. They don't get hit by the ship.
Right.
So it was very careful. I wonder if it was deliberately careful and not just artistically careful. But anyway,
and Randy sandwich. Ooh yeah.
But needless to say, I was very happy that they didn't.
Well,
they still killed
Super Chat.
And then Thomas with $5 says, "I thought they were going to send a ship through the ring, not jump the ring. Enjoy the strip club, Jason."
Okay. Very nice.
Jason's going to the strip club. We know that.
Well, they did kill 2 of the other.
Yeah, it looked like 2 of the X-Wings did.
Got very smashed.
Yeah, I think it was the black dude and the alien got killed.
Of course, the black guy dies. Of course.
Yeah, but they killed Porkins. Remember that.
Yeah.
Justice for Porkins.
Porkins.
Oh no, Ariel with the double down.
In one of his houses.
That's true. I guess I need to get my passport.
Yeah.
So then she wakes up in the world between worlds,
See, you
sees-
guys would know this. I didn't.
Yeah.
I really
yeah,
thought
and
this
sees
was.
little Annie.
Hey, hold up. He doesn't really look that de-aged to me. You guys
Not a
are saying
lot.
this-
It's more the
Yeah.
hair that makes it so they don't have to try that hard.
Yeah.
I think really they only had to soften.
Yeah.
And then we get the Sire to Happy music, and then all of a sudden the fade to black is the Vader theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah.
So can we tell? No, he's got somebody in the chat earlier said he didn't have his mechanical arm. He does. He clearly does.
Yeah, he has his mechanical arm.
Yeah, he's got his mechanical arm.
So it's definitely
Now somebody said that saber he's got is his Vader saber and not his Anakin saber.
Well, I
Right.
can't tell.
which I don't know the difference, to be honest. So
Well, I do
the-
because I have
the-
both of them here at the
The
house.
Anakin saber is 100% silver all the way
Yeah.
up and down.
well,
the
that's
hilt.
not 100% silver.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
well,
why I
that's
think
the
it's the
Vader
Vader
saber
saber. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this would be like you said earlier after he got knighted by Sidious.
Mm. Yeah.
So-
No
So-
scar. He doesn't have the scar. Did we get a close up on his face?
Yeah, we do get a close up of his face.
And he doesn't have the scar.
No scar.
No scar. Oh,
Mm.
okay.
Lies.
And the scar was before he even met her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
right. Yeah, because
is that
in the
is that
cartoon
just
he
like
has the
a-
scar the whole time.
Is that just like a glaring omission on their part, or do you think we should read into that?
I think I would probably, it's Dave Filoni, so I would probably read into that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would lean in hard on that because it's definitely possible that that he's having fun with us because he's done it in.
Because if they went
Rebels.
to the detail of the lightsaber and
Yeah.
the musical cue, I would guess that the scar is.
So you think
probably
this
in-
is? So this is like Vader version.
this
playing
is
a trick on
Vader we're
her?
looking at. I would.
Well,
think-
the way you explained it, you said like this isn't necessarily him. It's like an echo of him because he's been in this thing before, the world between worlds.
this is him.
before.
This is
Well,
Darth Vader she's facing.
Yeah, but
No, but my point
because
is-
But
They
it's
could-
Darth Vader disguised as Anakin.
yeah,
Okay, but so the Anakin at this point, this is after Return of the Jedi. He's
No. It's
this
Darth,
is after Return of the Jedi. This
it's
takes
Vader
no,
before Return of the Jedi. Guys, he's
no,
not
I know,
dead.
but I'm saying in this. The
right now the
timeline
timeline,
of
Ahsoka is after he's dead. Yeah,
after he's dead.
yeah,
Because even Balin was talking about him in past tense.
yeah.
Right,
So
right. As far
you
as
said
Ahsoka
you-
is concerned, he's dead. But
so you said that when people go into this world
This
between
realm.
worlds, is that
right,
what it's
world
called?
between
World
worlds. time
So
doesn't
so you said he entered this long ago. So maybe this isn't actually, present day, so to speak.
exist. Right. So this
They-
could be Vader. This could be Vader from any time.
Anytime trying to fool her.
Yes.
Including could be Vader
Seeing that,
right
having
after.
not watched the cartoons, none of this entered my brain at all.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, so it's that's why I say next episode, if they keep the pacing up like they did in this one, the next 2 episodes even could be just completely silly. Well, frankly, the next 4 could be completely silly because I know I've made this comment to you before, and this will be my big closing comment as far as what Dave Filoni can actually really do if he really leans into it and he maintains creative control properly and doesn't have, a lame director running stuff. The last, I think it's 6 episodes of the Clone Wars season 7 is functionally a full-length movie. And it's freaking the best full-length movie we've had since Return of the Jedi. Even though it's cartoon. It's absolutely smashing.
one of you nerds out there, make me a super cut because I ain't like.
Hey, I could probably, I could maybe arrange for that and then slap it up on the Plexerino and then
There we
you
go.
could watch
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
We could do
So,
a
but
Patreon watch along. That'd be nice.
but yeah,
Yeah, maybe
it's-
after this season's over, we could do that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, and then that would actually, be interesting. Is some of the more very key parts of stuff to watch, like her first fight against Darth Vader as Darth Vader, would be really neat for you to see, and then see the full closeout, because it's something else. So if he actually pulls this completely up out of, quote unquote, the fire, from the way some people are looking at it, and even with some of my less than happiness with the first 3 episodes, Ariel,
this is
great.
we are Jason.
Yeah, so I'm going to crack out my
rating,
rating, and then I'm going to jet.
You got to bounce.
So for me right now, I'm like, I want to give this, like, a big slice of my mind wants to give this a 9, but I want to be a little safe and call it an 8.5.
Okay.
Because there's so much in this for someone like me that's so steeped in all the other Filoni-verse stuff, that this is a huge episode. So
Right on.
What are you going to go 8.5 or 9?
I'm gonna go with 8.5, because maybe next week's is gonna be the 9. I got to save something.
You're right. Right on.
So real quick, Danny, what are you going to give it?
Well, going into this, I was going to give it an 8, but you guys kind of like ruined it. No, I'm gonna stick with 8. This is my favorite episode so far, even though I got everything wrong because I haven't watched the cartoon. But it still works for me. I'm gonna give it an 8.
It's starting to convince you to maybe consider watching the cartoon.
I'll watch the super cut that he's gonna.
And I'll see if I
that.
can't find a YouTube clip of the fight with her and Vader, and I'll send it to you so that you can see
If
that
not,
happen.
We'll put something together for
Yeah.
you.
So this is because I think my highest score
I'll start
so far has been a
downloading
7.
Rebels.
Okay, so I have to give this an 8. I give this an 8.
I'm going to give it an 8 as well. This is definitely my favorite episode so far. I would give it probably a 9 if it was self-contained, but it really is way too dependent on watching Rebels.
Well, that's the funny thing is, like, as someone who didn't watch Rebels, I didn't know it was until you guys pointed it out. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, that's the problem. You would think that she was in the afterlife if you didn't know what the world between worlds was. And like you said, it takes on a totally different meaning, because you think that's Anakin's Force ghost.
Yeah.
And what sucks right now is we don't know if he's actually doing this on purpose or by accident, meaning that he's forgetting that you don't know, Danny, or that he knows that you don't know, and then in the next episode there's going to be this great big Basil exposition moment where it actually gets explained, but we're kind of giving you the info up ahead of time.
Yeah.
So there we go. So
we got a 8.5, 8, and 8.
Yeah. So I give us an
8.25 community.
8.3.
Yeah, it's like 8.3, 8.4. Yeah, it's
it's
a very solid episode for me. I was just like prancing up the stairs last night.
Oh, it was good. It was so much fun.
So,
I mean, the lightsaber duels were the best in my opinion since the feature films. I mean, they were just
I would say since, and I get a lot of heat for this, since Revenge of the Sith. Like that's a guilty pleasure. The lightsaber duels in that movie are so tits. Oh my god, they're so good.
Yeah. Oh no, I would even go further than that. I would say since Return of the Jedi, because the Return of the Jedi duels have so much emotional impact to me, and these felt emotional.
Yes, especially with Balin. That was just
And so the Revenge of the Sith duel was beautifully done, but didn't feel as emotionally heavy as the Return of the Jedi did.
Okay.
But these, to me, felt both visceral and emotional in a way that I haven't felt since Return of the Jedi. So I loved them.
Well, hey, I know Jason's gonna go. I'm down to stay with you a little longer if you want, but
no, we can wrap things
I'm
up.
gonna peel.
So we got a big.
Well,
show
let's let
tomorrow.
Jason's got to go. Let Jason go.
I got to peel. So you guys,
right.
if you guys want to stay for a couple more seconds,
you don't look like a peel.
I definitely have to peel.
Hey man, make like a baby and head out. I'll see
Why
you
do you
tomorrow,
say
brother.
that? That's just the worst thing.
Although it's actually the right thing.
Well, unless you're
You don't want it the other way.
Yeah, no,
if you're
trust
a
me.
priest,
No.
you know, you can
All right. Well, Jason, thank you, man. This was fun, man. I'll see
Yeah,
you
for
tomorrow,
sure.
brother.
Thanks. See you
make
guys.
like a breach and foot out.
No. So, Michael,
Yes, sir.
as someone who has seen, you kind of gave me a little bit of education this episode.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, hindsight's always 2020? Are you glad you've got the experience that you have of having seen the cartoons, or do you kind of wish, like, damn, I wish I had Danny's point of view of not seeing the cartoons? I'm just curious about that.
Well, honestly, it's going to depend on where they go with it.
Okay.
Because if they, because they could completely screw the pooch with it. Like if this is like going to be some massive retcon of what they did in the cartoon, and they completely change what the World Between Worlds is from what it was in the cartoon, then I'm going to be
that screenshot you showed me looked spot freaking on, like,
right.
and I had no clue. That's why I'm like,
right. So assuming, because it is made by the same guy, it says Filoni made Rebels. And so assuming that they stick with the canon of the cartoons, assuming that they stick with the same lore and everything, and that this Anakin is following the rules of the way that it worked in the cartoon, then I'll be glad that I know the rules ahead of time.
So even though it's made by the same guy, do you think, because I almost feel like, I mean, I don't have your complete point of view, just what you guys are telling me. It almost feels like he's kind of doing a pretty decent job of skirting the line between people who know and people who don't. Do you think he's doing that on purpose?
Except that the problem is that, like, how frustrated would you be without having me and Jason to talk to?
Well, that's the thing. I wouldn't be. I'm more frustrated because, like, so I would be totally happy going into the next episode thinking what I thought about that being the
ghost,
the living force versus the
right. But then
world between worlds, is that what you call it?
Well, depending on how they present it, though, like this is where like for as far as what I'm thinking about is, like, for a normie like you, and I don't mean that as an insult, but I'm just saying someone.
No, I get it's someone who hasn't watched the cartoon. I get it. Yeah.
But for someone who hasn't watched the animated shows, and I had to be talked into watching them myself. But for someone who hasn't watched them, are they going to give enough explanation so that they'll understand what the World Between Worlds is and what Anakin is?
Well, do you think they, again, I have no clue. Do you think they even need to, for someone like me, from my point of view? Do you think they need to explain?
They're going to need to explain that Anakin is really Anakin. They're going to have to explain at some point that this is not a ghost, that he's not like a...
But this is Anakin from a different...
That he's Anakin from a different
time.
That he actually is Anakin, just from a different time.
Okay.
And that this is actual time travel here.
Man, that's crazy. I never knew Star Wars had time travel. That just
and this is the only way that...
I don't know how I feel about that, man. I'll be honest with you. I hate time travel usually.
It is the only way, and like people that are saying, oh, if there's just some way they could nullify the sequel trilogy. Well, guess what? The World Between Worlds is the way they could do it. And so, this is their golden opportunity. If you really want a way to get rid of the sequel trilogy, here it is.
God, please. No, the sequel trilogy is
but the you know, if people,
Damn, Thomas, what do you mean having my point of view would scare you? You got to expand on that, brother. That's you're just being mean. I mean, what the frack, dude? What the frack?
and yeah, Stan asking kind of the same thing as you. Do I agree with this approach to the series? I just, you know, it to me, it feels like the series should be a lot longer if they're going to go this deep into the lore.
Or at least these last 2 episodes. I mean, this episode was only like 2 or 3 minutes longer of actual screen, you know, like not previously on in credits of the last episode.
right.
Like, what do you feel? Although I will say, we all agreed, even with this shorter runtime, the pacing was good. Like, it
Oh
felt
no,
like
the pacing on this episode was right on.
Yeah,
I didn't have a problem with the pacing of this particular episode, but the next episode is going to really be the key, because the next episode has got a lot of explaining to do.
So we've got what 3 episodes left, right? 5,
right, and
4,
that's a lot of stuff to explain in 3 episodes and
5,
introduce
6, 7, 8. No, we have 4 episodes left.
4
right?
episodes. Okay,
4, okay,
that's
yeah.
4 episodes where they have to explain the world between worlds. They're bringing in the new big bad for the Star Wars cinematic universe, Thrawn.
Yeah.
And they're bringing in the new hero for the Star Wars cinematic universe, Ezra. And so,
how can he be the new hero unless they do some timey-wimey shit and erase the sequel trilogy? Because Ezra is not in the sequel trilogy. He's not even mentioned. Like, I've never even heard of this guy until this show. You know,
because
as someone who didn't watch the cartoons, you know.
Remember, it's kind of like, remember we talked about it before, is that we follow exactly what the witch said. Ignore it. Ignore the sequels. Forget about them. Just remember.
When did Morgan say that?
Huh?
Morgan's the witch.
Morgan just said that in this episode when they were heading towards the Republic ships.
When we're no longer live, I really do need to have a conversation with you about this, because I don't think I'm crazy. I think it's uncanny. It's weird.
You just need to stop with that.
It's crazy, man.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
That was a wrestling reference. Yes. I know you didn't get, but that's fine.
I figured by the way you shouted it that it must have been a wrestling reference. But no, it truly doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. But yeah, you have to destroy to create. That was another good one.
He's God, man. I mean, it's tragic when anybody dies. Like, and I hate.
But it's truly tragic with him.
I know, man. I hate to make it sound like whatever, but good Lord, he's such a great character. I mean, the actor brings so much gravitas to that character. It's just such a bummer.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as when, you know, the secret is, just ignore the sequel trilogy completely and focus on this new era they've created right after Return of the Jedi. And focus on Thrawn as the villain. And you have a new set of heroes with Ahsoka and Ezra and Sabine.
Well, it's easy for you to say. I still don't know who Ezra is, other than the freaking little painting on a wall and a hologram. You know.
Well, I know, but he's a Jedi, and he's
so who trained him? How's he a Jedi?
He was trained by a Jedi named Kanan, who is dead.
That was the Green Lady's husband, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to put it together from what you guys.
Yeah, he was in the animated shows, and he was a true Jedi.
So who trained him? Do we know?
I don't think we really got much on his master.
Any of you nerds in the chat know, or later watching this on the replay, Let us know in the comments. I would really love to know.
But Kanan was such a badass Jedi that he was blinded by Darth Maul, like literally blinded.
No, you told. Yeah, I remember you telling me
Yeah,
this. See,
his eyes burned out, but he was.
Because you guys said he was
badass.
even more badass than the dude from Rogue One.
Yeah,
who was blind.
He was able to fight completely with his lightsaber, completely blind.
Kind of like Daredevil. Then was he like Daredevil? Did he have like?
Yeah, he used the.
Did he have some kind of sonar or some? Or was
no?
It
he just used the Force.
Okay.
And so but he was he was a complete badass. And he continued and he trained Sabine a little bit, and so that's
I
where
thought Sabine was Ahsoka's Padawan.
Well, Sabine learned from Ahsoka after the series, but she trained under Kanan during the series a little bit, and then so she trained under.
I thought there was the rule of two. I thought
that's a Sith thing, not a Jedi thing.
Oh, okay.
And so, and
Bondage says Kanan was depressed and a drunk until he met Hera. I like him already.
He actually was a mess at the when he first at the beginning of the series. So I haven't read the comics, but that may well be true.
Yeah, no.
And Hera was, and so Rebels, the series, was about a ragtag group as they hung out on the Ghost, and so the crew of the Ghost was Kanan and Hera and Zeb, who was the furry monster guy that we saw in that one episode of Mandalorian.
The big blue guy. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the
Thomas, I'm not doing it. I'm not watching Rebels. Stop
and
it.
then
Chopper,
the droid. And then in the first episode, they meet Ezra, who's just a kid. And they realize Ezra is very gifted in the Force. And so Kanan takes Ezra on as a Padawan. And
so Kanan takes Ezra on, but then he also takes Sabine on? Also?
Later on, after Ezra's becomes a Jedi.
So, I almost wish I didn't have you guys to tell me all this stuff from the cartoons, but it's okay.
It's a lot. That's the thing, that these cartoons are a lot deeper than a typical cartoon. And like, I know Thomas is saying just watch it. It really is worth a watch. And the thing I hate about it is that I really hate the animation style. I absolutely can't stand it. But the story is so dang good. And so it's so frustrating to me, because on the one hand, it's like, it looks like absolute crap. On the other hand, it's so good.
Well, I guess that goes to show that as long as the storytelling is good, it doesn't matter. Ariel, I would be down for that. If you want to hook a brother up with some links, I'll do that,
Well, or we could do the reviews because nobody else has.
Or that,
So,
I still, if Jason's down, I still would love it if Jason put a supercut together and then we did that on your Patreon.
Or, we just watched an episode each week and,
Yeah.
And then, of course, then you'll have to watch them.
Well, if I'm watching them with you and Jason, it makes it a lot easier. So,
So, it's the problem is, of course, if we watch one episode a week, it'll take us about 16 years to get through them all.
Yeah. So, hey, Thomas is asking what our plans for Lower Decks reviews are.
Very simple, Thomas. The same as what we've been doing. So like tomorrow, we're going to review the first 2 episodes of Lower Decks, since that's apparently what's being released tomorrow. And we're also going to review the first episode of Star Trek the Animated Series. Then next week, we will review the episode of Lower Decks that comes out next week, and the second episode of Star Trek the Animated Series. And we will continue in that pattern throughout the run of Lower Decks.
So I'm going to put you on the spot. What's the name of that episode?
Wasn't it Yesteryear?
No, that's episode 2, bro. The one we're reviewing tomorrow.
Oh, the one where Beyond the Furthest Star.
Okay, very good. Yes. Okay. That's correct.
Yeah. And so, yeah, the...
Thomas, we're not doing BSG for, I think we said...
until either Star Wars or Star Trek is
we pinned it down in last week in an episode last week. It's sometime in October.
Yeah. So Battlestar Galactica is on hold
the entire month of September. No BSG. So, sorry.
And that's just because it's Star Trek and or actually anything that is first run gets priority. So Star Trek, Star Wars, MCU that's currently running gets priority over BSG. Is as much as we love BSG, BSG aired 2 decades
that ago. We got to come up with another name for our shows for BSG, because we don't fight. We all just basically blow the show. We just take turns blowing the show. We just all 3 of us love it. I mean, none of us have had anything bad to say about the show. Well, I guess maybe when we get to that one episode that with the sex trafficking that bothered me. That what was the name of that one again? Black something or other, or it was
Black Market.
Black Market. That episode
that was a rough one.
That was rough. Yeah, that's easily my least favorite episode of BSG. But you guys won't get to hear about that for a few months, probably.
That was definitely
unless you go to supportsalty.com. Right? Is it on there?
Not yet.
Jesus, man. All right, never mind, people. I'm sorry.
But tomorrow they will get to watch Beyond the Furthest Star.
There you go. It's funny. Jason's reaction to that episode was funny. Mike and I had seen it already, and Jason hadn't, and he was just like, what am I watching?
He kept me. I really did think he thought he was on drugs.
Yeah.
He's just like, man, my hands are so big.
Yeah.
Whoa. This stuff is really kicking in, man.
Well, Stanley, we've got plenty of plans for plenty of old things without new things coming for the strike. So don't you worry about that, sir.
I ain't worried about the strike. As far as I'm concerned, they can strike for all eternity.
Yeah, same.
There's plenty of material we can.
Plenty of good stuff that from good writers.
Yeah,
long before.
I mean, we've got if they continue on strike. We've got let's see if I can just go to my wish list here and let's take a look.
Well, we've got the animated series, which we've already committed to do. Right. We've got the rest of Battlestar, which we've already committed to do. Then you guys were talking about maybe having me watch the OG Battlestar,
right? And which we already have.
Yeah, and then I want to do the original series of Star Trek badly, so we.
And I already have that one too.
Yeah. So those alone,
that's enough to last us a while.
Yeah.
But then in addition to that, here's just a few shows that we've talked about doing. 12 Monkeys.
Anybody get that for you yet? Because I do really want to watch.
No, it's in my wish list. This is all stuff that's in my wish list. If anybody wants us to do it, then you can get it at the wish list. It's in my description right now. These are all in my description, in my wish list. There's 12 Monkeys. There's Star Trek Voyager. There's Star Trek Enterprise. Star Trek: The Next Generation. Fringe. Serenity, The Incredible Hulk, Airwolf, Knight Rider, Batman, Space
Right.
1999.
I just put his wish list in the chat, folks.
Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, Andromeda, Stargate. Stargate's a big one, by the way.
Dude, no, I can't. No, I can't commit to Stargate. That's so
Stargate.
much.
If the strike goes on, Stargate will last us a whole year just doing Stargate.
That's true.
You know, I'm just saying, like, if the strike is continuing, Stargate will give us lots of content. Because that Stargate box set that's in my wish list is all of Stargate. It's not
look,
SG1, it's all of it.
I don't know if my mom is still here. She's been trying to get me to watch Stargate for decades, literally. And
I have not watched all of Stargate yet. And so Jason is the only one who's watched all of Stargate.
Yeah,
so.
that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, I know. And I'm actually looking forward to it if we ever get to it. Let's see. There's Firefly, Farscape is in there. So
I love me some Farscape. I've already seen that. So
and you know, and there
Muppets in space.
and I'm sure there's other shows that we can find and add to that list. So
let the strike go on forever. We don't care. We got plenty of content.
Yeah. And I will tell you, you know, like some of those shows are silly and dumb. Some of them are serious, but they are, you know, they're all
Ariel or Mike. Which one wasn't Jason Momoa? Didn't he get his start in Stargate?
He was in Stargate Universe, I believe.
Oh, okay.
And yes, I believe that's where he started. But I haven't seen that one at all. So
okay.
I've seen some of Stargate SG1, but I haven't even gotten to.
I've only seen the Showtime episode that had nudity in it.
That was SG1, and
that's the only episode I've seen. Yeah. And then I was watching it with my buddy Eric, and when I got all excited, I was like, "Oh, this is right on." He's like, "Oh no, bro, this is the only episode like that." I was like, "Oh, well, screw this, I ain't watching anymore." So.
Yeah, that was like they wanted to do that. It was on, I can't remember, it was Showtime or something like that.
It was Showtime.
Yeah. And then very quickly Showtime didn't want it anymore, and it ended up on like the Sci-Fi channel.
Sci-Fi, I think. Yeah.
And of course, it was no longer going to have nudity because it was no longer on Showtime.
Dude, it had full frontal bush nudity. I was shocked.
But yeah, that was one episode, and so sorry, buddy. That's it.
Oh no, that's fine. I don't need to be seeing that kind of stuff anyway, being single. I tell you what, hey, you know that gag you do where you cut me off when I'm talking at the end of every episode? Now would probably be a good time to do that, because I'm not kidding.